Okay, Rachel Williams, Compass, Cookie Monster. Okay.
It was Cookie Bandit for a long time.
Bandit, perfect. Oh, that's why. That's your handle.
All coming together.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never got that. Oh, now I know.
Welcome to Stop Whining About Real Estate. Join us as we chat, sip, banter, and wine with the best in the biz. Grab a glass of your favorite vino, sit back, relax, and let's wine together.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. This is Emmanuel St. Germain. I'm your host of Stop Whining About Real Estate. I got my co-host, the lady in pink, Sarah Birnbaum, here with us. We've got a special Cookie Bandit guest with us. We've got Miss Rachel Williams, who is a real estate agent and with Compass and also a former cookie entrepreneur. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome, Rachel.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
So we were just talking before we started. Well, we were filming, but before we started actually live recording in front of the thousands of people in the audience here. But no, seriously, tell us a little bit about the cookies is what we're more interested in right now, because you got everybody hungry and we've got wine.
She's totally put me onto this. So the cookies, I actually started the cookie company with a really good friend of mine at the time. And I was supposed to be kind of like a silent partner in it, but things kind of changed. And then we ended up actually opening up our own location in Delray Beach. And we specialized in just like giant cookies, like pound cookies.
Oh, wow.
And that was pretty much it. And then
Where'd the idea come from? Like
it was my business partner's idea.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, but do you like the baking? Do you cook at home? Are you a chef? Is like this a part of you, or it was just a business that kind of evolved?
So I enjoyed baking when I was younger, but
Okay.
I kind of just hopped on to support her as a friend because that was kind of her venture. And I was like, you know what? This is so great. And I believed in the cookies so much that I was like, okay, why
Let's do
not?
this.
Like, let's do it. Yeah. So that was pretty much it.
Very cool.
Very cool. So I actually don't have any more about the cookie business because I want to talk about, I was scouring through your social media today and found your interview with Newsmax, or not your interview, but your appearance on Newsmax, which I thought was extremely cool. Have you seen it?
Is Newsmax the same what Aaron works for?
Yes.
So they're trying to get. I'm trying to get me on Newsmax.
He's trying to get himself on Newsmax. So a couple of things. One of my very good friends, she's the executive producer for Newsmax.
You should invite her as a guest.
So when I saw Newsmax, I was like, oh my God. And then you were with Rob Schmidt, who everybody in the world thinks is extremely attractive.
Who's Rob Schmidt?
Yeah, you're missing the boat.
Don't think so.
And I was just like,
I've known Rob for like 10 years.
okay.
Yeah.
Is he as attractive in person as he is on Instagram? Because
Of course he is.
yeah.
It's Rob.
Yeah.
I've known him I met him back when we both lived in LA.
Okay.
So he was he reached out to me randomly. And he was like, Rachel, you know what? I know you do real estate in Palm Beach and you would be amazing for this. And I just want your input. I was like, yeah, absolutely. So then we just partnered up and did that. And
Who's
it was
Rob
kind of
Schmidt?
like,
Okay, so he's a news anchor for Newsmax,
Okay.
and he works between here and New York. And he had Rachel on the show to kind of confirm and talk about, the facts behind Mar-a-Lago and its worth and Palm Beach Island and real
the
estate.
$18 million or whatever they said.
so they were trying to
was
say
a
that
joke.
this judge up in New York was saying that, oh, it's 18 million. They were going off of the assessed value. It's not even the actual market
Right.
value. So then, of course, the 18 million got
I'm sure we can get a bunch of friends who will all chip in to easily
Well, of
buy
course.
that place for 18 million.
right?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was just so cool because if you watch the news clip, like she is the expert. Like she is the person that comes on that like talks about the square footage, the price, the island, the golf club membership, the resort, like all of it. And I was just like, holy shit, this is legit. This is awesome. Because a lot of
That was
people
pretty
watch
cool.
Newsmax and, it filters through Fox and everything. So I just thought, that's
It was
awesome.
definitely an opportunity for me. I just, I love Newsmax to begin with. So I was, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm on national TV now. So
Yeah.
it was just it was a cool experience.
And it makes you
For
like
sure.
the real estate expert, for this area, for
Palm Beach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is super, super cool. I think it's like,
it was great.
I am valid. I know what I'm talking about.
I don't know if it's Newsmax or Rob Schmidt that has you more excited about this.
Sounds like Rob.
I think so too,
no,
Rachel.
I actually think.
I think she's like, you're like the expert.
She's like,
now.
Newsmax.
No, but I think Rob Schmidt aside, I just think if a news station that's well, respected picks you to be the expert of your industry to go talk about a topic that's being tossed around, that's a huge honor.
Yeah, for
if
sure.
somebody pulled you onto Newsmax to talk about mortgages and rates and, the market, forgetting who was interviewing, Aaron, Rob Schmidt, whoever, I think that would be really cool. That would be something that you would, want to have people know about you.
I agree. No, listen, I think anytime you can get your PR out there, it's great. And I think that for all of us, we are all three of us. So Sarah does business development for us, right? And, Rachel as a real estate agent. I think for all of us, we want to make sure that our audience and the people that want to do business with us respect us and understand that we are experts in our field. Yeah. And one of the best ways to develop credibility is getting yourself out there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Sarah has me always going on panels and doing all sorts of stuff. And sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. Sometimes the subject is cool, sometimes it's not. But it's all about perception. Mm-hmm. And, luckily I happen to know what I'm doing. But even if I didn't,
exactly.
you can create that perception out there.
Well, you can only talk so much too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see that happen all the time.
We've been doing, all right, so tell me what you think about this, okay? So I am beta testing this, and in fact, I'll give you a real-life scenario how it worked. So I'm of the belief that I wish that we only had professionals in your world and mine. Mm-hmm. And no offense to the bottom 10, 20%, but get out. Go do something else.
I agree.
Right? Innovate yourself and start your world over. All right, so based on that concept, we use something called Reader, R-E-T-R, and it's called Real Estate Tracker is what it is. And so what happens is that I can pull up any loan officer, any company, any realtor, any office, and I can tell you every single piece of data. I can tell you the address of every transaction you did in minutes. I can tell you the prices. I can tell you who the other agent was. I'll show you when we're off air, how cool this is. So how do I use it? I was showing it to another agent who's an agent that her and I do business together. She has a $3.3 million listing. And so I said to her, I go, Lauren, here's what I want you to do. The second you get an offer, email me the contract, email me the pre-approval. I'll tell you everything you need to know about the agent who's making the offer and the loan officer. I pulled up the loan officer's information. They've done 8 loans all year. Okay, not the total of the loans was $1.8 million, and this was going to be a $2.7 million loan. And I go, even the real estate agent had never done over $1 million deal. So I told the client, I tell Lauren, I say, here's what I would do if I were you. The company that this loan officer worked for is a good company. It's a reputable company. I don't have a problem with the company whatsoever, right? Unfortunately, the person that's handling everything has no experience. They just don't have enough experience to deal with this type of transaction. So if I were you, now obviously my win in this, because we don't do things for free in life, but my win in it was trying to hopefully get the buyer's agent to persuade their client to switch over to us. Mm-hmm. But what I said to her, I said, I wouldn't accept that pre-approval on their offer. Force them to get pre-approved by me. They don't have to use me, but I'll at least be able to let you know exactly whether it makes, whether to take that deal on or not. And so, of course, we had a conversation. They start backpedaling. It's going to take a long time to get the documents. I go, no, it doesn't. If you're pre-approved, you've already sent everything. I go, if you feel that confidently, have the loan officer put everything in a zip file, send it to me, and I'll do it within the hour. And it was really telling. And to me, so I want to start, and the reason I'm beta testing it is I want to start using it as a kind of a carrot also to dangle for realtors, for you and I to do business. Mm-hmm. Here's how I recommend we do it. every time you make an offer on a property, along with my, like on a financed offer, like we have a really pretty pre-approval packet, right? So along with that, I would send your real estate tracker that shows your numbers, so that that's your version of sending your resume right in the offer. And then you send mine with it that shows my numbers, my big numbers. And all of a sudden you say, hey, our lender clearly has experience, et cetera. So when we're making an offer, now all of a sudden you're saying to the other person, like, this is a legitimate team. This buyer is highly qualified. That's their resume, is the pre-approval letter. Here's my resume. You can see how many transactions I do. Here's the lender. All of us are legitimate. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fantastic. I think it's definitely with what's going on right now with agents, and, you know, there's got to be a way to kind of look into people more, you know, and see the overall bigger picture, because like you said, there's just so many people out there that don't know what they're doing, you know, and having something like that, having a tool is definitely really valuable.
So I can't. Sure. So the idea itself came from the CEO of the company who did this. I emailed them and I said, hey, I have a business idea. Shocking. So for me, I was like, all right, I have an idea.
Another project.
Well, there was another idea before. We're going to tell you about another idea I had a second ago. But so the idea was essentially, I was like, all right, so here's again, to that same point. If people knew who they were doing business with, right? Like if you were calling a plumber and you saw the plumber had only made 2 house calls all year, how confident are you about that plumber or anybody like that?
Yeah.
They have an Angie's List. They have all sorts of other services. They have Yelp. Restaurants have it. Like, we all as consumers have an ability to look up everybody else. Yep. But you don't have an ability. Janine doesn't know how to look up your, like, well, she has a license, but
I mean, people that are licensed do.
In general, that's what I'm saying. But outside, like, I met a common person who doesn't have our license. Not you, the person. I'm talking about.
But you know what,
a non-realtor or loan officer who doesn't have access to our tools.
True. I mean, they wouldn't know where to start.
They wouldn't know to start to see that you could have the gift of the gab, be presentable, and then all of a sudden you've done 0 transactions.
I think there's 2 things that go into this. I think one, most people don't understand how complicated it can be, how it can get, and how much is involved. I think most people don't understand
the transaction itself, all
the
of
whole thing of it. They don't understand the transaction. They just figure, find somebody that can represent me and has a license, find a bank that can give me money. They don't understand direct lending, broker. They don't understand. Find a bank that can give me the money. Find a person that has a license that can get to the MLS and look up the houses for me, right? Because that's the thing that the average person can't get a hold of. Put those 2 things together and it'll just magically all happen. So I think that's one part, is that most people don't understand how much goes into the transaction, which is unfortunate, but we see it because we see things fall through at the end or in the middle or whatever. The other piece of it is, social media has a way of people who do very little business on social media could look like the biggest rock stars in the industry ever. And I see it all the time because I'm a person that wants to go meet new agents, hopefully, preferably people that are doing business so we can build a relationship together and do business together. But like, I get duped often because I will see their social media and it looks like they are doing transactions daily, like just pumping them out. And then you go and look at them up and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Wait, that's not possible.
But that's
that happens all the time.
That's this whole idea. It's call it the Authenticator app.
Now, is that yours specifically? Because I've heard something similar.
So there's all sorts of companies that do different things. So there's like MMI is one company, Model Match is another company. So there's all sorts of different companies, but this company has something that they created called Track Record. And so Track Record is, for you guys, it gives a 2-year resume. For us, it gives a 12-month resume. But what I love about it is it just literally, you know, like, it's an easy way to, and so like the conversation that I had earlier, excuse me, was very much like, you know, like as I'm talking to the agent, and we never want to badmouth anybody, right? That's not a good way to do business, and no one will ever respect you when you do it that way. So you have to say, and it's true, I do recognize that the company that was on that pre-approval, I won't mention the name, but the company's a very good company, right? I've got a buddy of mine who is a rock star, one of their top guys over in San Diego. And so there's nothing wrong with the company whatsoever. But that being said, like, it's not the company who's doing the loan, you know, and that's the same conversation that I say to somebody that goes, oh, well, I bank at Wells Fargo, you know, it's going to be easier for them to do a loan. Well, no, you know, it's not Wells Fargo, the organization that's doing your loan. It starts with a loan officer, it starts with a processor and an underwriter. And those are not the people that you know or you'll ever see at your branch. And so anyway, it was just about really having that understanding. And somehow my wish for the consumer is that I wish consumers had more transparency, that you have been vetted, you are good at what you do. Therefore, if someone wants to use Rachel Williams as an agent, they should go with confidence. Run, don't walk, right? I feel the same way about myself. But then we can point to this other person, and that person, and then so here's how we make it a win for everyone. That person, she didn't need to get out of the industry, but she needs to be a junior on my team, right? She needs to be a junior on your team. And then the way that you would do it is, and so for me with Real Estate Tracker, I would say, hey, here's who I am, but I work with Rachel Williams. She supervises everything that I do, and then you send both resumes. I call them resumes, but it's the
tracker.
The tracker. And so you can, even if someone is new, look, I've got loan officers in my office that don't do the volume that I do either. So I'm not saying it's the only way to do it, but at least address it. A consumer has no idea.
Zero.
Right? You know, if you walk into a restaurant and there's no reviews, never seen it, have no clue, like, hey, they only do one meal a night. Well, guess what? You might get food poisoning.
But I feel like the savvy buyers, specifically in the luxury space, they want to see, I mean, they do their homework. I mean, I've noticed over the last year to 2 years, my Google reviews and my Google presence has increased because people are specifically searching for my name. People are searching for, you know, a Facebook page. People are searching for a Google page. You know what I mean?
And how'd you get to that?
What do you mean?
Why is someone searching for you?
Just because I've reached out to them through one way, you know, through a lead source or whatever,
Gotcha.
And they don't know me, or maybe I'm a
So you're saying people are verifying, or are trying to verify you,
yes,
and they're doing it through Google reviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think reviews in general always do it, but I think your resume is more impressive,
of course,
than just your reviews. So that's where the idea of like, I'd love to make this consumer. We got like a nasty storm out there, huh? We got consumer-facing kind of app that says, you know, I at first I was thinking of a ranking, and ranking's not the right word because it's more on volume and play. The other thing that would happen is if we had that, think about it, people would work for less because it's less important that you made X points on your 10 million of business than you doing 20 million of business, because now the 20 million appears to do, you know, to be a better, stronger than 10.
So work harder, less smart.
No, it's just more pure capital. It's more pure capitalism. The bottom line is, if you know, do as much, but like, I have a philosophy here. Obviously, I want to make as much money on every transaction as I can relative to keeping our consumers happy, right? Like that's how
You want the part-timers out.
That's how any business works. But no, what I'm saying, but I won't turn down a deal.
Second that.
Yeah.
I won't turn down a deal. We have a transaction that in between shows I was just literally talking, hey, if I have to give up, you know, if I have to give up a certain amount of money in order to keep the deal happy for whatever reason is happening, right? And that never happens, but if it's what is required of me, that's the kind of partner I am. The realtor knows it. Now they're happy. I've got a relationship. I'll make way more money in the span of my relationship with this agent.
Of course.
With her knowing that at the end of the day, we came in, we saved the day. Right?
Absolutely.
We didn't allow the deal to blow up. No one's harmed. Client's going to be happy. Everything works.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
How long have you been in real estate?
It'll be 6 years in July.
Okay. How'd you get in it? Why?
So I kind of grew up in the industry. And in California.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah, originally from California.
Okay.
My mother and father both invest in real estate. They have a huge portfolio, and I pretty much grew up like flipping houses, helping them renovate, like getting up on,
Fixing some paint.
scraping popcorn ceilings, the whole thing. So I did that growing up. And then my mom always told me, she's like, you'd be so good in real estate. I'm like, well, maybe. But I did everything but. And then later on, when I got older, I was like, okay, I need to
get serious.
Need to calm down a little bit because, being in service industry for so long, which I was until I was probably 24, 25. And then I was like, you know what, need more of a kind of business job. And I always liked real estate. So I just got into it and that was it. So.
What do you love the most about it?
Pretty much like building relationships with people and helping people through problems. I love problem solving, just overall connecting and networking and just building relationships that last years and years.
How do you use your sphere of influence to grow your business?
So I reach out to a lot of past friends in Vegas, a lot of past friends in Los Angeles where I used to live.
Okay.
And a lot of people in the nightlife world are connected to Miami or South Florida or New York. So even if I'm not able to help those people, those referrals that I get from, past colleagues, I can always refer out and make some money off of them. But it's mostly the connections that I've had over the past 10 years. And then also just social media has been huge for me as well. So
your social media kicks butt.
Thank you.
I love your social media.
Thank you.
So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. So my draw to Rachel was her videos, and I remember, I forget which one. There was one I commented on, and I DM'd you, and I was telling you a great job you did, and I love the simple but articulate message that you're putting out there, and I think that. All right, so let's talk about it. So, whole process to a video. So, content creation. Are you finding other ideas and recreating? Is it original? Yeah. Who's filming? Who's editing? Not producing. I guess it's editing in that world.
So everybody is super surprised when I say this to them. I come up with all of my concepts, just top of the head and just come up with something. I'm always thinking about content ideas everywhere that I go. What are problems that agents are facing? What are some controversial topics? Whatever it is, I just come up with something. I do all the filming myself. I send out the editing. If I'm busy, if I have the time, I'll edit myself. So everything is pretty much done by myself on my phone. And
do you use
lighting. I do professional lighting. I bought, hello, Amazon.
The
Amazon
ring?
shout out.
The ring that we have
that
up
thing?
there?
No, I have a softbox, a big softbox.
What's a softbox?
Huge.
That's what we have above?
But it's bigger. It's huge.
Okay.
And I pretty much set it up anywhere that I want to film.
Okay.
I usually use my house. And then I tried to start doing
Be better
more.
than middle of the road.
It
would be better than the middle of the road.
Jojo.
What is this?
Just out here in the streets.
Listen, there's two different types of, what do we call it? Instagram, what? People that, I can't think of it. But anyways, there's obviously a difference when you're doing
influence.
Yeah. Or these, obviously when you're at the house and you're doing it or in a workplace setting, it's totally different than. But I do crack up when I see people out in the streets filming and stuff like that.
I think there's a lot of shame. I'm a little bit shameless still when I do content just to keep it 100% real. I'm not one of those people that can get out there and just, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I don't know. Maybe it's because I care too much. Maybe I just have a little too, I'm just weird about filming myself. If somebody's filming me, I'm fine. If I'm filming myself, it's a little cringy.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to do it, you know? So I film a lot of more serious stuff at home in the office, stuff like that. But Yeah.
It's funny. They tell you, like, you shouldn't care what other people think. I'm like,
let's be real.
Line up 10 people that are actually true to that, and I will be so surprised.
well, it depends in many things. So I don't really care, if Roy likes what I'm wearing or not. No offense. I like Roy, but like that his thoughts on that subject matter don't have any influence whatsoever on me. Now, if he's saying your voice sounds like dog, you know what, because that's his expertise, now I will listen.
Yes.
That's a
But
different
if you're
influence.
So very simply, I don't care if you don't like what I'm wearing every day. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. It literally has
We're going to test this one.
This has no...
We're going to beta test this. I'm going to make fun of your outfits for the next week.
That's fine. You make fun of most of the things that I do. But my point is that wouldn't bother me. Now, if I put a video together to go onto my social media about what I do as a profession, my career, Choice Mortgage, the value that I add to clients or to agents and the people that I'm partnering with, and you had a strong opinion about that, I would feel very, very heavy about it for a while.
Yeah, but you and I already have that relationship. I think you already get a little tense because, I'm pretty critical.
No, but I'm saying that's where people
Not
care
in my
about what they're
personal life,
thinking.
not like, like in our friendships and stuff like that. But when it comes to
Business.
my product, I'm very, listen, now here's the difference, right?
But she's putting herself out there to her clients and other agents that she wants to engage with, build relationships with.
She's putting herself out. Okay, but here's the difference. In this scenario, she's filming, editing, and she's the one hitting yes to putting it out there, which means it's past her own test. All I'm saying in our scenario, the example you're giving is what I'm saying is I'm going to be much more difficult, critical, judgmental, because I want our product to always be perfect. But at the same time, look at this podcast. I'm as easygoing as it is. I don't care. There's no mess ups. It depends on what we're talking about.
I'm just saying from a caring of what people think standpoint, I feel like when you put yourself on social media, you're putting yourself and hoping that the people that are seeing it are
connect with you,
getting the message that you want to send and not misconstruing it as, you're too much of a goofball or you take yourself too seriously or whatever. Like you want them to feel that connection with you because that's your goal, right? And she does a really, really good job of it because meeting her in person and seeing her social media are very, very similar. And I think that she nailed it. She did a phenomenal job of doing that.
So you did some stalking before she came on?
Of course I did.
Good for you. Proud of you. A little research.
I was cracking up in the car. I was like, oh my God, I love this video. I was looking at the, how, because I think sometimes people will go like music, and then like a voiceover. And she her blend was phenomenal. There was some golf stuff in there. There was some she nailed it.
All right, so let's talk golf.
I try to. I mean, I love golf. I'm a huge golfer. I try to keep my content pretty real all the time. I mean, I always tell people, hey, what you're going to see on my feed is totally, this is more business, more, personal stuff. You're going to see a little bit more polished version. And then me on my stories, I'm a totally different version of me. Right. I'm the same person, but it's just a little bit different. The approach
in the moment.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So do we have a system or is it kind of is it calculated? Are there days? Are there times? Is there do I have to have a video out? So today, what are we today? What's today? Wednesday. So all right, in the next 7 days, video needs to come out on Friday, which means I need to film here. Is it well thought out, or well thought out doesn't have to be a good thing or a bad thing, but is it something that you've spent time organizing, or is it, hey, I just had a great idea?
So usually if every single week is going the way that I want it to go, which sometimes does it, but on Mondays
you're
it's
lucky if it's only sometimes.
Yeah,
by the way.
I'm okay. I remember I do this one coaching program, and it's really taught me how to kind of block off time more, and use my time more efficiently.
Are we allowed to hear it?
Well, I coach with Krista Mayshore, so her whole
she's with Compass, right?
No, she's the XP actually. She has her own coaching.
It's a realtor coaching.
Yes.
Realtor, not
real estate and mortgage professionals. Ooh, but she does everything is more marketing based. It's more video based. It's more connecting with people through video. Everything is based on video.
Got it.
creating a parasocial relationship, what I mentioned earlier.
Big word.
I
But
love that word
basically,
now.
on Mondays is like my planning day. So I'll sit down for like an hour and I'll plan out, okay, what's my message for the week overall? Like sometimes it'll be realtor to realtor. Sometimes I want to share like a story that happened the week before or like something. But usually, I mean, my good ideas, they just come to me. But I try to film at least one day a week, and then I'll batch content for the next couple weeks. I'm trying to do more, but consistently filming like 5-6 videos a week is super challenging. So.
Right. It definitely is hard to film. It's hard to come up with that much stuff. I think that, so for me, and the reason I was asking how it's thought out, I do. So to your point about knowing, well, let's start here. Do you have a personal and a business account? You blend one, right? Okay.
I used to have a business page solely for real estate, and then I'm like, what am I doing? I feel like there's so many people in our industry.
People want to know you.
That don't, they'll have their separate page, and then, they're like taking shots on their personal page, and it's like, and they're going crazy. Like, that's, you know what? You're going to get all of me if you get me, because at the end of the day,
if we're going to work
whoever
together, you're
hires
all of
me
me anyway.
is going to get at me.
Yeah,
exactly. You're going
to be able to connect with people, and they need to see you're not perfect, and they also need to see things that you like doing, and so that they can find an association. And so, it's funny. Like, I know my personal stuff. Here as a prime example, I have an affinity to wine, and I like nice wine, and I'm probably a wine snob. And but I just thought of it. I've never ever once posted about wine. For one reason, in terms of being the judge, I don't want someone to see that I'm drinking a $200 bottle of wine or something like that. So, but now that I think about it, and I don't, the other thing for me, like, I don't videotape myself.
Yeah.
Now, I should, not from this type of content, but more from, I love to cook, right? And so cooking, it's all right. You can take pictures along the way, and you can kind of do it that way. I love the videos where, they do it in 15, 20 seconds where you go, like it goes like they batch whatever.
Like a time lapse kind of thing.
However they get it to go quick. And then this is where I get ideas. I'm like, ooh, that pumpkin soup, carved out, served in a pumpkin, carved out. I'm like, this looks amazing. And so, but what you do is with that, what it does is, all right, so for me, here's the message I would want my audience to understand. Look at his attention to detail, right? If he has this much attention to detail in how he handles his food, he's going to handle my mortgage that way. 100%. I do the same thing with my dog. My dog comes everywhere with me. I love my dog to infinity and beyond. If he's that great with his dog, imagine what he would be like with kids. Well, whatever, however you want to do it. It's true. You have to, but it's so. Am I portraying something? Yes. Is it intentful? Yes, because that's how my brain works. But it's all authentic.
You should do more video, though, because I think the one thing that people don't get to see about you the most is your personality.
How funny I am.
Sure. They know
what do you put out there? What's on your content?
So as you were talking, I was just thinking about that. I don't have an intentional goal with my content, and I probably am the biggest F when it comes to social media, because I just kind of post
goal planning 2025
things in the moment, and things that if it's a food that I'm eating, if it's something my kids are doing, if it's somewhere that I'm going, if it's something that looks cool, if it's a sunset that looks cool, if it's a moment that was nice or fun, or if it's family, I don't have a direction. And if somebody looked at my social media and said, I hope that, they would probably say I hope you don't use this for business, because this is not going to.
All right, well, let's ask the experts. So first question, do you have kids?
No.
If you had,
I have 3 fur babies.
Okay.
Those count.
Fur baby as well. All right. If you had children, the reason I'm asking is she has a couple kids that she knows about. If you had kids.
I had them all. So how does that work?
It's a joke.
That would be on you.
That's true. Yeah. It doesn't really work with women as well.
No.
All right. So if you had kids, from a business standpoint, do you think they should be involved in social media or not?
I definitely would involve kids just because, yeah, for sure.
Because people connect.
Because people connect. And like, let's face it, like the majority of people out there have families. And that's one thing. It's funny that you say that because that's actually one like pain point in my business that I feel like people sometimes don't connect with me because they're like, oh, she's single, she's not married, she doesn't have kids. So then they're like, oh, she's automatically, not good with kids. And then that's kind of, of course, those people would naturally gravitate towards people with kids.
See, I think it's the opposite. And I can see that, but I would think for me, they might go, well, she's got kids, so that's going to take away from her time. So she's probably not going to be as committed to me and like what I need from her. And she'll always have something that comes up with the kids. So she might not be the best candidate for what I need because I'm going to need her 24 hours a day.
Great. So should we never hire women?
No.
But I feel like too, you're speaking from a business and a personal.
If we're going to use that philosophy, then a company would never hire women.
Well, that's not true because you know that I go above and beyond.
But we wouldn't allow women to get pregnant.
No, we're not talking anything about that. What do you like? Some kind of communist?
I'm not talking about me. I'm telling you. This is your mind, your perception. I agree with Rachel. I think you should.
I do post my kids. I do post my kids. I think in the beginning when I went public on my social media, the only thing that kind of frightened me, and again, I do not have a big following, so it shouldn't be that scary. But like I thought to myself, there's, some crazy people out there. So the only thing that I will say that I'm careful of.
I agree with that, by the way.
Is like if they have their school shirts on, I will like blurb out the school name. Or if they're in our neighborhood, I will, blurb out the street name on the sidewalk or whatever. I mean, if you really wanted to go digging, you could find it. But like just from and again, I don't have a huge following. I think I have like 1,000 followers. But
I think that's smart. Listen, you gotta protect them.
Yeah.
All right. So now, perfect opportunity.
Oh, God.
I think we're hosting some agents tomorrow for some business planning, are we not? Is that tomorrow?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So let's reverse the roles.
Yeah.
Why don't we do a little business planning for you and your social media and ask the expert, what do you think Miss Sarah should do and where should she get started?
I should get a coach.
I look at...
Janine, by the way, this is me in the background going like this. Look at this puppeteer. He gets everything he wants at the end of the day.
So a lot of my friends ask me, kind of honestly, I get a lot of my ideas now on my social media from just like the things that I love to do. So I would ask you, hey, what are the things that you love to do? And what would you want to share?
What else?
What would you want to share with people? Your kids. What else do you like to do?
I like to work out.
Okay. What else?
I work a lot.
Okay. Other than work.
What do I like to do?
Well,
I like to go out
you wanted to just post fun stuff, not work?
No,
I
like to go out to nice restaurants. I like to go out with my friends. So work out, go out with my friends. I like to travel.
Okay.
Kids.
So would you say your overall goal in social media would be to attract clients, or would it be to connect with your sphere to attract clients?
I would say that my overall goal would be to attract probably clients. So in my case is referral partners. So agents.
So there you go.
And figure out how we can, like, yes, of course I work for a mortgage company and I want your buyers, but like beyond that, my job is to be the relationship builder. So how can we connect to where it makes good, fun, business sense, successful sense, but also to enjoy each other and, kind of build an actual true relationship and do business together. Okay,
so staying on that before we keep going, do you think your social media currently the results is it that a consumer is finding you and then saying, Rachel, you look awesome. I love your content. I'd like to work with you. Is that what's happening? Or is someone verifying kind of like the Google and they're saying, okay, she's got her what together and something like that. The reason I'm asking that question is I think that's what you need to ask yourself as well is do you think that Rachel's going to find you as an agent on her own, and then go say, you know what, this Sarah girl seems really cool.
I think
or do you think that you're going to meet her at an event
at the Compass office, and then she might
get tagged, and then your name will be on there,
and then she might go, I'll go see this person's page, and then go see the page and go,
okay, so for me that's verified, not new originating. How does it on yours?
I think for her it's both.
I would say honestly, people find me through social,
Okay.
right? But I have a lot
Like I
of
did.
agents. But I have a lot of agents that find me through social. So it's like I have a lot of clients that find me on social and then reach out to me and they say, hey, I want to work with you just because they like my personality or whatever it is, right? But that's, I mean, I would say I have a pretty good mix
Okay.
of,
The reason I asked that,
yeah.
She nailed the social media thing.
but the reason I asked that, and like there's a specific coaching group for loan officers that are former loan officers for us as well, and they're all about social media. Now,
Is it local?
Huh?
Is it local?
I don't know
know
if
who
they're
you're
local.
talking
It's Justin and Syed or whatever his name is. The loan officer, I forget what they are.
Okay.
Anyway, so their whole shtick though is about constantly posting and I don't know the whole. I think it's called Growth Only or something. I don't know the whole thing, so I don't want to advertise for them in a pro or in a negative way. I don't know them very well, but from a perspective of okay, like if you want to vet me, if you want to ask guidelines, programs, like ask away, I guarantee you when you walk away from that conversation, you're going to say, okay, I'd have no problem working with him. He knows his crap inside and out. Mm-hmm. Now, that's insanely boring to post. Okay? There's no way for me to post. Like, imagine a doctor, okay? Imagine a doctor, a heart doctor, a cardiac surgeon who is...
I love that you compare yourself to cardiac surgeon.
I probably would have been a brain surgeon if I had to. But yes, a cardiac surgeon and I, we've got these hands, the hands of God, that are performing miracles. Now, I'm kidding, but all kidding aside, it's the same concept that, all right, do you really want that guy talking about how good he is at performing heart surgery? Like, no. So what is that person in the loan officer world? Because it's going to be boring. We can do videos.
It doesn't have to be.
You can do consumer-facing videos, but what I would tell you is that for me, all right, and I know your real estate record. I've seen your tracker. Like, you are a producer. What I'll share, though, is most social media people,
Or not.
they suck.
I know.
Their numbers are bad. Mm-hmm. They have great content.
I know.
The personality in the world, and they're laughing.
You're like,
and
you're a
they're
coach.
But they don't actually do any business because it really is hard to be a cardiac surgeon and then also be the PR for the hospital.
Well, I think
that's usually not how it works.
Cardiac surgeon of mortgages, as we're calling you today officially.
Dr. Mortgage.
Oh, God.
You know what? Maybe
See?
this is
idea. This is why she's genius at social media. You should have a page.
Hashtag Dr. Mortgage.
So
Dr.
last
Mortgage.
week I was asking the dentist, I'm like, where do I buy these scrubs? And she's like,
Please
online.
no.
Why?
If you start coming to the office with scrubs because you think you're the surgeon of mortgages,
He's going to get them embroidered.
I'm going to lose my mind.
The mortgage doctor.
The mortgage doctor. I mean,
That's
saved by my
memorable.
mortgage. I honestly, I mean, it would be pretty funny to just start wearing scrubs on a 5 days a week basis.
Oh.
Like, and everyone would be like, "Oh, what kind of doctor are you?" Mortgages. What? Like the amount. You go to Starbucks in your scrubs. Go to happy hour in your scrubs.
I think it's smart. I think you
would
need
It would be
something.
funny.
memorable.
I'd
I think you
have
need
women come up to me and be
something.
like, "Oh, you're a doctor?"
Nope.
Like, yep.
Exactly.
I'm a mortgage guy.
I think that's so important. Like when you're
It's
trying to
something
build
different.
a brand, you have to do something different. Like with my whole thing, it was kind of a joke. Like the whole Cookie Bandit thing was a joke. But during the cookies, I also did real estate. So I wasn't going to say real estate bandit. Like that's dumb, right? So I was Cookie Bandit because I wore my hats and I have a huge collection of hats. Like I have probably 50 hats and everyone would call me Bandit. Like that was my little nickname. So I was like, this is so funny to take and to morph into a brand. So it's like you have to take something personal that makes you different. And I know I sound so cliche for saying that,
No, but
it's
it's
like
true.
you do have to hone in on one thing. Like maybe you like to cook and you can throw that into your somehow
mortgage
like
chef.
giving
Mortgage chef.
mortgage tips or talking about a story, cooking at the same time.
Could you correlate a recipe to mortgages and
Yes,
do a cooking
100%.
video?
Of
So then
course.
start doing that.
Because
it's always easier said than done.
And then at the end, feed it to Boo Boo. because it shows that you're loving and caring and share.
Absolutely. And then I get all the people saying, oh my God, there was a little piece of garlic there and she's going to die.
Yeah, but I think people are going to be haters no matter what. Like, I'm sure that there's people that...
I see the comments. Have you ever seen any of the comments that people have? Like, this is where you truly have to have thick skin. Like, I forget some of the stuff that's on, like, I don't even know what I was looking at. And next thing you know, like, you look at these comments and like, bah, 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 bah. And it's like, there's so much hate. People are so jealous. It's like, just don't, stay out of it.
Just keep scrolling.
But you know what? Like, so you guys didn't see this on my socials, but back probably about 8 to 10 years ago, I had a completely different social media. Like, I had it was a very fitness model, very typical bottle. I'm putting myself in the bottle server thing because I totally did that, and I'm like,
by the
I
way,
was a bottle server.
Do you know, a buddy of mine named Key?
Key.
Yes, Key in Vegas, black dude.
Why does that sound familiar?
I'll show you a picture of it, huh?
Like, are we
still
friends?
out there in the scene. I'll show you a picture when we're done.
I'm like, are we friends on the little like suggestion?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah, the friends in common, whatever it is.
Like, do we know each other?
So there's another realtor that I know who was a bottle girl in Vegas. Heather, what's Heather's last name? She just got married.
Heather the brunette, pretty and blue eyes.
Heather and Ashley or Ashlyn, they're down in
L.A.
No, they're down in Fort Lauderdale. She just married. Her husband owns like Global Wealth Management or something like that.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. What's funny? Like, some of these girls, because Vegas was such a tight-knit group, all of the bottle servers and people usually knew each other, but it's like there was a new wave of girls that left.
Can I ask questions about this?
Of course.
How much money does a bottle girl make?
A lot.
I mean, I made...
$250,000?
I made about, on like my best year, like $325,000.
What? Yeah.
Janine, time to get to Vegas.
I'm getting old.
Get that car going.
Except for real estate. I'm like, what's funny? I was just going to make a video about this because you see this on social so much. Everybody constantly cracks jokes about it. And you know what? I'm going to own it.
Yeah.
Because every single relationship that I've had, it's benefited me one way or another. Or somebody from Vegas connected me with a friend, or, I met so many people in Vegas and in LA. And then when I moved, it was like I got plugged into the right spots. And if it wasn't for those connections, I wouldn't be where I am. Yeah. So it's...
And also the experience, like the life experience, everything else. Like, I would joke with my dad. I was like, I think I got a late start, but like I came out running when I finally got my start in like career. Because I spent a lot of time in hospitality and then finally moved into like a professional job where you have to wear like, a blazer and stuff. And he's like, but all of that stuff that you did created who you are now, which has allowed you to be who you are in your job and your career now, because had that not happened, you would have not been Sarah. Like, the reason why you are doing well at what you do is because of who you are, but that came from that experience.
Absolutely.
I would imagine, again, just total guess here, but I would imagine that it also opens your eyes to realizing how much money there is out there.
Oh.
And
well,
not just there, but just in general, how much money there is around the world.
Totally.
Like, we're not driving through certain parts of areas. Like, when you are working in the bottle world, everyone around you is either wealthy for the night or they're wealthy in general, and it's not a big deal to spend a couple $1,000s or $5,000 or whatever it is that they're spending to enjoy whatever they're there to enjoy, whether it's a fight, a club, a scene, strip club, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Money. Yeah. Lots of disposable
But you know what?
money.
To tell you the truth, too, my views have kind of shifted as I've gotten older, because when you're younger and you're in that world
Newsmax.
and that's all. Well, all that,
Clearly they have.
it's like, well, they've always stayed the same as Newsmax.
Well, you're also from California, so I didn't know what that meant.
True. Yeah, no, I'm a rare Californian. So basically, when I was in Vegas, you kind of get this mindset that everything's fake.
Yep.
Like, it's not really a reality until you leave the industry and then you actually start dealing with real money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now clients of mine that have generational wealth totally different kind of money than somebody that just pretends like they have $5,000 for the night in Vegas and that are, sharing the table with 10 of their buddies for a bachelorette or a bachelorette party, bachelor party. Right. And they're dropping 10 G's on a table and I'm making, thousands of dollars off of a table minimum or 20 grand or 30 grand,
then they're going
or whatever
home and
it
they're
is.
like, shit, my credit card bill's so high from this weekend.
Yeah, but it's like everybody looks
great.
rich.
Fantastic. Oh, yeah.
But that's Miami. Totally. That's how I feel about Miami.
But that's Vegas, too. And it's like, how many people actually make the money, though? And that's like, I feel like that's just culture now. Like, everybody just acts like they have so much more money than they do. But
it's one thing I love. So I grew up in New England, and what I love about the New England area is, like, it's very much like, just in any areas, like the people that I know that are uber wealthy, like, show up in flannel. They've got an old pickup truck and, like, you wouldn't even know it, but they are ridiculously rich.
Those are the people that have the most money. Like, look on Palm Beach Island.
Right.
Like, all these
other than the yellow and green pants,
sandals.
If it wasn't for the green pants, I might have had a hard time picking them out.
Sweater thing, which I totally steal all the time because it's so cute.
It is so cute.
What's the Palm Beach show? Do you watch that show?
What one?
I don't know. There's some Netflix, some show that it's about Palm Beach, like in the 50s or 60s.
No, but now I'm going to watch it because I would love that.
It's very popular. I'm surprised you don't know it.
Not the Epstein thing.
No. Little bit different.
Wait, is it like it's actor, or is it like a documentary, or is it?
No. It's like an actual show. It's about life in Palm Beach, and I'm gonna say the 60s or 70s, something like that.
Around your time, got it.
Yeah, very, very close to my time, something like that. But can you imagine Palm Beach? Can you imagine having bought real estate in Palm Beach?
It was still expensive back then.
Yeah, because it was secluded, but Boca wasn't.
Right.
Boca would have been cheap back then.
Yeah. It's so crazy to see, like, the pricing, even with the lots there. I mean, when I did that valuation with Newsmax, it was, just going back and looking at the numbers again, because my last sale in Palm Beach was 2022, I think it was. But it's just insane. Like, you can't even comprehend how much wealth is on that island.
Insane.
Yeah.
One of my favorite houses has changed, and I'm so upset. There was a house that almost right after you pass Mar-a-Lago, so Mar-a-Lago's on the left, on the right, there was a house, and you could see from driving the door, it had like a glass door, and then I think the door's in the middle, but you could see a ton of glass. It's on the ocean side, and you could see right through the living room into that. On the other side was all glass. So, like, it's the most incredible view. Like, you're gonna just imagine, like, watching the game, like, oh, what's going on in the ocean out there? Like, just
what's going on in the ocean over there?
Oh, look at that, lovely. So but yeah, just like unbelievable. And I don't know, I've always loved. So one of my favorite restaurants up there. Do you like Bucan?
Didn't we meet at Bucan?
Yes.
I was
like, there? Yes.
Was this after the Compass Palm Beach opening?
Yes, you were there.
You were sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
You had a big hat on.
Yes.
Correct. Yep. That would be me.
Yep.
I didn't wear my hat today just because I was having a good hair day today. So.
You're having a great hair day.
Blow the hair out.
I do remember that we walked in because we sponsored the event. And afterwards we're like, well, we're here. We might as well eat. And we walked in and he's like, wait, there's Rachel. And I don't think any of us wanted to just like, hey, Rachel, because we didn't know. I don't know.
Because they're not friendly.
Well, that's not true. We didn't want to like crap. I don't know. We just want to be weird stalking people. So we went to
Let me be the weird stalker.
Yes.
She's like, I love your hats.
And so we went to the table and I was like, she's really pretty and I love that hat. Yeah, but I remember that you were sitting with another girl.
But yes, Bucan.
It was Alex McCoy. She's with Compass too.
Yeah.
So love Bucan. What's your favorite in Delray? So you live in Delray, right?
Yeah. Okay. So there's this place. I don't know if you know, but there's this restaurant. It's a little off the beaten path. If you're a foodie, you definitely know it. Do you know MIA Kitchen?
Yes, my favorite.
She knows it.
Kitchen?
Mia, but it's MIA.
Okay, where is it?
So it's right next to the Turnpike.
Oh, no.
And that's
why.
I'm telling you.
He has this thing about going west of 95.
It is so,
I'm telling you,
right
you're
now,
doing
so
your tummy a disservice by not going there.
So the executive chef, Jason Bender, is also a friend of mine. And we go
Jason's my client.
Jason Binder?
And you haven't been to his restaurant?
No.
Yeah, his wife is Asian, I think, right?
Yes.
And you haven't been
They
to
just
his
had a
restaurant?
baby.
Yes.
To support his restaurant?
I always make jokes there because I'm
They
like,
just
I'm
had
the
2
pain
babies?
in the butt
See how
You
small
are?
of a world this is?
Kind of.
The best.
about the steak.
Good.
The steak has to be perfectly like medium, and then if they do a medium rare, they always try to convince me to do it medium rare. But then I'm like, I don't want to do a medium rare.
Wait,
and they're
which
like,
place
do
is
a
this?
medium. Mia.
Mia.
Me, okay.
MIA.
MIA.
So I always send it back. I'm like, sorry.
You're like, I wanted this
I'm not
exact
that
way.
person.
Why is it the best restaurant if you're sending stuff
It is
back?
well.
It's
okay.
just the way her
let me
steak is
correct.
cooked.
Let me correct. Sometimes the same chef isn't there,
Gotcha.
right? So if
So
it's a
only
different
go when
chef,
Jason's there.
yeah, he knows how to cook the steak right.
She has her surgeon
it's
chef that
perfect.
she goes for.
And then if I see some other guy back there, I'm like,
I'm out.
homie's gonna mess up my steak. I don't know. I don't know if I get it.
Jason's off on Mondays. Not that I would.
Okay, that was yeah. All right. That
So-
makes sense.
What's your favorite restaurant? Let's stick to Delray.
You know, I really like brulee.
I love brulee.
I mean, the steakhouses there are good, but
There's so many dates on Brulee, though.
well, that's your
It's just,
problem.
I know, but
I
it's
feel
so
like
close.
that's kind of the date spot. Honestly, I've had so
got
many
it.
dates there too. I'm like,
See?
Got it.
You know, Jason used to be the.
that, I was just gonna say that. I
Well,
was
there
just
you
gonna
go.
say. I'm
See?
like,
okay.
It all
That's
it all
so
circled
funny.
back. Because
You would-
Brulee Brulee's a block from my house, so like I literally.
Well, so there's
go
that
walk
too.
there.
So I live in Boca. I also haven't been on a bunch of dates. So like I have yet to be.
Sounds like a personal problem.
It is. Well, you know, I'm freshly in this scene. So
All right.
I mean, 32 East used to be one of my favorites.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
That
I
was my
loved that
all-time
one.
favorite. Akira back is my favorite.
Akira Back is good, but here's what I'll say about
are you
Akira Back.
serious?
Yes.
I am like, I'm objecting right now.
What is
Why?
your
Do you
favorite
like
there?
sushi?
Is it the tuna pizza that everybody gets?
No.
I am a sushi snob.
Okay.
Okay, so then wait, what's your favorite sushi
Snob.
place?
The I
Because I'm not
forget
that
what it's
impressed
called.
by. I mean, it's
have,
good, but it's
They have an appetizer called it's like a tuna and salmon
pizza.
Tataki.
tataki. Is that the mustard sauce?
Usually it's
Yes,
like
it is.
Okay.
It's the spicy mustard sauce.
So
And
mayonnaise.
like I literally there's no mayonnaise at all. No, not at all. It's mustard. It's mustard seed. It's vinegar.
It's like ponzu. Is it ponzu-y?
No. It's I have the recipe at the
ponzu.
house. I was there with my mom last time she was there, and like my mom loves it too. So like we have to go.
Oh, the time that I was supposed to go to dinner with you.
That's
guys.
right. Yeah. She's like, "Oh, your mom's coming into town. Let's have dinner." And then boom, MIA. And I don't mean the restaurant.
Wow.
Boom. But the tuna tataki and the salmon tataki, whatever it is, that appetizer I love. Like I just love the quality of it. And they have my sake heaven's sake, which I love. That's my favorite sake. But you don't like it, so tell me about it.
Like, I might have I know for a fact that this is better.
Okay.
Because I'm a sushi snob.
Omasake?
Omakase.
That's what he
Omakase.
meant.
Do you
That's
know?
what he meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the
Omakase.
name of the? Well, it's
there's a couple.
omakase is what it is. But are you talking about the
Omakase
one
is
next to the
chef's
seafood
choice.
place?
So there's
Jane.
a couple. So there's Taki, Taki, and it's kind of like a little hole in the wall. They have 2 locations, one in Boca, one in Delray.
Yep.
Okay. And
That's the one that's across the street from Lily Pulitzer.
Yes.
By the way, can we talk about just so
No,
it's
wait,
on
I
the
need to
record?
find out her new
I
sushi.
despise Lily Pulitzer.
Fantastic. That's why you don't live on
Hate
Palm Beach
it.
Island.
So true. I was
Hate it.
going to say that. It's actually Palm Beach Gardens, but okay.
Yes,
You should stay
even
until
better.
right.
Stay in the gardens.
So wait. Back to sushi really quick, because I am on board with you, and I want to know the
am
other one. So
such
Taki,
a
I
snob.
agree, because I've been to the one in Boca,
Taki
and
was
it's
great.
amazing.
It's
The other one.
expensive. It's like $500 a date.
Yeah. Well,
You don't always have to
I
take a
have
date. Go with a friend.
My boyfriend's Amex is screaming. Sorry, honey. So we have this thing, and we try like different omakase spots.
Okay.
So we've done like the grand tour from. He lives up in New York.
Okay.
So I'm here. So we did Delray, we did Boca Taki, then we went down to Mila in Miami. Oh my God. Mila is amazing.
Yep.
Incredible, like presentation, 10 out of a 10. Location, 10 out of 10. The interior of it, it's stunning. It's like a gorgeous, gorgeous restaurant. And then up in New York, we went to one in Tribeca that's called Ito. But the only thing is the prices are insane.
Insane.
But the quality of fish that you get is just next level.
Yeah.
And it will blow that one out of the water.
It's hard to, Even the sunset sushi here that's right across
really
the street
good,
from us.
actually, too.
From our building is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to Sunset.
And Sushi Baibu as well. But Sushi Baibu is a little bit, I don't like how they kick you out the door. You know, their model's a little quicker, a little more fast paced. So they kick you out.
The one in, I guess, Taki it's called. So the one across from Lily. What I like with that one was, I think there was 6 couples.
Yep.
It's either 6 or 7. Like it was capped, and it's like a bar, and so
They're all like that.
It was just really small, very confined. There was 2 chefs, and like the food was amazing.
It's
and
so
like,
good.
It's a lot of fun.
I was actually I was stuffed because I just went there on Friday or Saturday, and we were going to check out that new sushi place that just opened at the Waterstone in Boca, Kasumi or whatever it is. That just opened, and we were going to try that. And I'm like, you know what? He's like, do you want to go to Omakase? I'm like, nah. So we went. I'm like,
now that you mention it.
Well, yes. Do I have a choice?
If that's an option, then yes, I'm going to pick that one.
Let me see the right hat
Obviously.
for this occasion.
Yeah. I love that.
Do you have like, you don't go
So I
there
have
with like
multiple
Japanese
hats.
chef hats, do you?
No chef.
That would be kind of funny walking in like, what is she? Is she a critic?
Critics don't want to stand out.
That's
No,
true.
really.
No, they
They're
change their
incognito.
appearance. They
That's
change
true.
their name. They have different credit cards.
Huh.
Yeah.
Just wear a different hat every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's, all right, well, tell us your favorite hat.
I mean, I have this one that I wear that's like, it's like a Louis Vuitton vintage scarf that this designer incorporated in this hat.
Okay.
So it was like kind of like it's more of like Cabana Panama hat, I'd say, but it's more of a straw hat.
Yep.
So it's a little bit more Florida-y, you know? I love my flat brim hats as well, but that one's pretty much my go-to because I can tie it in with whatever I wear.
I love that.
How's your hat game?
I mean, probably not substantial.
Are you a baseball hat girly?
I have them for, days that I need to get up and go move with the kids and don't have time to make anything look great.
I don't wear hats. I don't have that problem. I'm just kidding.
I have too many hats. I should probably start getting rid of some. So
Yes. No, the hat game is fun. You got to have a few baseball hats. All right. So New York, you got relations in New York. Are you rooting for the Yankees?
I am. I'm watching the game tonight.
We got a big game tonight.
Pulled 4-11. That was crazy. That game was nuts.
Yeah, it was. It was
Definitely
very nuts.
needed
But
for sure.
Well, cheers the Yankee. Although I'm a Boston fan, I've got a lot of, and it's funny is the evolution of growing up is in the past. I would have never been able to do this, but I have a lot of friends that are from New York, and so I don't cheer for the Yankees. I cheer for them. So good luck to all my Yankee friends. And Rachel, thank you so much for being on. Please let
Absolutely.
anyone know who would love to use your services. What's the best? We're going to put all your information that you want us to in the show notes. But how can anyone get a hold of you and check out your videos on
I would just
social
say
media?
my social media tag, which is realist, like real estate, REALEST, Bandit. And then Google me,
Bandit,
pretty much it.
BAND.
DIT.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
on the
guys.
show, Rachel. Have a great day, everybody.
Okay, that's enough whining for one day. We are so happy that you could join us today on Stop Whining About Real Estate. So please, not only listen, but subscribe, follow us, download, share, and if you're feeling it, give us a 5-star review. Hey, and if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email stopwhining@choicemortgage.com. Thanks so much.